We're looking at the question that we just created, where we had MyOpenMath ask students to find the sum of two integer values. Now what we want to do is go back to that common control and even a little bit in the question text and see some additional features that we can add in here to, sort of enhance our question a little bit. The first thing I'm going to do is put a double slash in front of a few of these variables that I already created. What that does is treats those lines as a comment, so the common control MyOpenMath ignores those lines, but we can put information in there as notes to ourselves or other instructors. I'm leaving that there so that I can show the difference very easily between what we did originally and now what we're going to do to modify our approach to this. To start off, we created two variables, a and b. We did that on two separate lines. We can also compress that into a single line where we say variable a comma variable b is set equal to rands, R-A-N-D-S. So we're creating more than one random integer. We would still give it our minimum and maximum value, and then we would add comma 2 to indicate that we're creating two variables at once. All this really does is just combine those two steps into a single line. It cleans up our code. It can speed things up, especially if your problem has a lot of different variables in it. But just to show you a little bit of the depth that will be here that we'll explore in later videos, we can expand on this a little bit. We could change this command to diffrands, which would generate two different random integers between -10 and 10. So saves us the trouble if we wanted a case where the two values can't be equal to each other. If we want to specify even a little bit further, we can add non-zero to the front of this. So we can make sure that the two numbers we're adding together are unique and that neither value is equal to 0. Obviously, those sorts of options are really just dependent on what you're trying to accomplish in the problem, but just want to start previewing the idea of the depths of commands and controls that we have here. Next, we want to revisit this expression variable. We'll give it the same name since we commented out that other line, and we're still going to include that variable a plus variable b in a set of parentheses. But what we saw last time is that we ended up with some odd statements where we would have a positive number plus a negative number. Or in a similar question, we could have a positive number minus a negative number if we set it up differently. So we want to include a command that's going to sort of clean up that mathematical expression for us and get rid of some simple things like multiplication by 1, double negative signs, exponents of 1. So that command is make xx pretty display. That's not exactly what I typed, but that's how I say it in my head when I type it out. So this command, this text in front of our string, again, takes that expression, variable a plus variable b, and we'll just clean it up a little bit so that we don't get plus a negative number or minus a negative number if we had a slightly different problem. So it just helps to clean that up, make the expression read a little more cleanly the way we'd actually write it. And then down in the question text, I'm just going to add one little feature here that I like to do. I'm going to use this increase indent to indent that expression equal to answer box line. That's really just formatting, but just to point out that we have all these different formatting tools that are available to us to enhance the look and feel of the question as we see fit. Now if we quick save and preview this question, now instead of this question being rendered as 2 plus -3, it's changing that sign in between for us and rewriting this as 2 minus 3. So that's that make xx pretty display command at work, just cleaning up that problem to write it a little bit more naturally. We can still see the correct answer, and we can still test to make sure that we're getting the correct answer when we submit it. Again, anytime you make some modifications or create a new question, you want to go through multiple iterations to make sure it's accepting answers the way you think they should be input, and that key is showing the correct answer.